long story short, we had a big thing. So that school went from kindergarten to 6th grade, and it was a really big deal. In 6th grade, we got to go to 6th grade camp, and it was like a week long, and it was a super big deal, you know what I mean? We were away from our parents, and we went to school, and went to a camp away from home, right, for a week, spent the night, all that stuff, right? Well, I'm going to tell you a funny story that leads to the love story, okay? So, I don't think I've ever told my parents this story, but now that I'm grown, it's super funny. So I'm 12 years old at the time. I'm 6th grade, right? And we had an activity that day, and the activity was like a game, and it was supposed to be, teaching how to, work as a team and to get, who can win. The game was an outdoor scavenger hunt, and you had to find something in nature, like we were all outside, and we had to find something in nature, one thing that began with each letter of the alphabet, okay? So there's like a group of like 4 or 5 of us in each little team, right? And each team had an adult. Actually, it was like a teenage high schooler, but to us, they were big, okay? Maybe college kids, I don't know, but I remember we had a guy and a girl, and the guy and the girl, they were like, we only, I think, had one that we couldn't get, which was really crazy. You had a time limit and everything, and so they were like, we have an idea, but I don't know which one of you guys would do it. And of course, I was like, I'll do it, because, I wanted to be like the hero. I wanted to be the one that, hey, took the one for the team and brought us to victory, right? Who doesn't want to be like the hero of their, like, of the kids at school, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to make our team's going to win. Yay. I'm like, so what is it? Well, they said, well, the only thing we could think of that starts with a U that is natural or is nature would be urine. So yeah, I took one for the team. I went in the woods, tinkled. I went wee. I pee-peed in a cup, one of the coffee cups from the they worked in the concessions. So anyway, weird. Okay, so yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. So the funny thing is that when we got, so the time's running out, right? And I remember the teachers that you had to bring all your, leaves and twigs and acorns and, things found in nature that begin with each letter. We couldn't find a squirrel to pee in a cup, so I took one for the team, okay? I thought I wasn't even trying to be funny or anything. I was trying to win, okay? I was trying to win. So I took the advice of my elders that were in charge of me, my chaperones, who got in no trouble. I was the only one who got in trouble. But anyway, so imagine this. So I'm looking down. They're all the teachers and all the others are like all the teachers and all the other, hundreds of students. They're all sitting down on the baseball field. And the baseball field, well, you had to run down a hill, like a really long hill, like one of those hills that you would love to just roll your body down, you know what I mean? One of those hills, just one of them perfect hills. But anyway, so I come running. I had my cup, I had the other stuff, because of course I had to go deliver all the stuff because, yeah, nobody else wanted to hold my urine. So here I come. I've got all my team stuff. I got my cup tingle. And we could have called it wee too, but we didn't need a W. So anyway, I come running down the hill, and I still remember his name, Mr. Fuller. And I was like, here's mine, here's ours. He goes, what is this? I said, that's you. That's urine. Where did you get this? I'm like, oh, it's mine. supposed to do a skit with our same group, right? And so I remember in chapel, I don't remember the whole skit, but I remember I was like the queen, and I needed my secret paper and all this other stuff, and I wouldn't say what the secret paper was until finally I called for my assistant woman, girl, chick, whatever, and she brought me my secret paper. And so in the chapel, she ran down I think we ran out of the chapel with streams of toilet paper, because the secret paper she was calling for on her throne. Because, yeah, in the skit we were doing, I don't even remember what the point was, but we were all supposed to do some kind of skit or whatever. But our skit, I was needing my secret paper for my throne, and it was unladylike as for toilet paper. So it was my secret paper or something. I don't remember, but there was toilet paper streaming down the aisle in the church, in chapel, after our skit. So the two of those happening at the same time, it's really weird. But anyway, and it's so strange because actually, y'all, I've never tinkled or wee-weed. I don't burp or do the other stuff. I don't toot in front of any of my children, in front of anybody. I've never in front of my husbands. None of them, none of the four of them. Not. Anyway, that's another story, so it's just weird that all this happened. But anyway, because I'm like super weird about this stuff. Like, I don't touch stuff in a bathroom. It's disgusting, like gross. But anyway, so I remember, I know you're probably thinking, what about the love story? Okay, so this is where the love story comes in. So I remember that night after chapel, after the skit, everybody did think the skit was funny, and it was funny, and I saw people were talking about it decades later. But anyway, so but that night I remember getting in trouble after chapel, and that's when because he waited. I thought I got away with the whole baby in the cup and giving it to him. No, he was saving my little lecture till the right time. So he waited till during chapel when everybody else was in chapel, which obviously, hello, if I was so bad, I should have been in chapel, not listening to him. But anyway, so just kidding. Anyway, so I bet he's looking back on it now. I bet he still tells that story about the 6th grade girl that ran down and tried to give him an TT and won the game. Yeah, they made us forfeit. They didn't let us win. I think that's so. Okay, here's where the love story comes in. This is the only boy in my life that never hurt me. That's right, including my kids, my dad, my grandkids. Everybody disappoints us, but needless to say, he didn't really have time. But I hurt him, and I didn't mean to. I didn't want to. But anyway, this is what happened. So I was feeling really bad, and I'm sure it was just me, but I felt like nobody wanted to sit by me. And after chapel, we went on what was supposed to be like the cool thing, like if you had a boyfriend or something, you would go sit by him. It was the campfire time and all this other stuff, and it seemed like everybody had somebody to sit with, whether it be a friend or whatever. And I remember feeling super, super lonely, and I had just gotten in trouble, and what I thought would be like the thing that would make, everybody be like, oh, that's so cool, she won, and she did something nobody else would do. Like, I thought what was going to be a great day, it turned out to be really cruddy. And so I remember walking in the woods, like this was yesterday, and I remember walking, and this little boy, his name was Harry, and he let me sit on his jacket, and he was so kind, and he was so nice. And anyway, me and him became boyfriend and girlfriend. And y'all, after camp, and he went to a different school with some boy I didn't know, God put that little boy in my life to today, that I could sit back and go, you know what, there is an innocent love. There is people. He saw something in me. He saw that I was hurting. He saw that I needed somebody to be kind to me. And so it was after that, so between then and then 6th grade graduation, this was also the only good birthday I've ever had in my entire life. So 6th grade graduation was like a couple months later, and we were still boyfriend and girlfriend. And that year was the only year my parents were home on my birthday and not at the Southern Baptist Convention. So that was like already a plus. So I had 6th grade graduation, and those 2 months that he was my boyfriend, I remember he had a lot more money. His family, I guess, had a lot more money than us or whatever. I don't know. I just remember he would come down. His house was beautiful. He came down, and I don't know how many was miles and miles. He would come see me. He would come ride that bicycle. And then I remember he would bring dollar bills that tore off, which were really cool. And my little brother loved it. And he would bring money and buy stuff from the ice cream man for my little brother, which was so cool. So the night I turned 13, it was our 6th grade graduation. It was actually on my birthday. And my mom and daddy, we went and got him from his mom and daddy's house. And he went to 6th grade graduation with me. I sang that night, El Shaddai by Amy Grant. I was like, that was the best night of my life that I can remember. And that little boy gave me a real gold necklace. I'll never